So a common question we get is when somebody's looking at a hot tub, they'll ask us, do you have a salt tub? And our answer is no, and there's many reasons that we don't do a salt tub. First of all, let's really educate you on what salt is. You are adding salt to the water, but it's going through a special cell and being converted to chlorine. So when you say you want a salt pool or a salt hot tub, what you're really getting is a chlorine-based sanitization system, almost just like a chlorine feeder, except you're using salt as the fuel to create that. Now, salt does have a benefit in swimming pools because you've got 20,000 gallons of water on average. It's cool water, and because you're maybe having 3 to 5, 6 people using it a day and it's cool water, you don't need to make any adjustments to that system. On a hot tub, on the other hand, you've got hot water. Bacteria reproduce every 12 minutes in hot water, so it's important to have constant sanitization. You've also, on average, got 300 to 350 gallons of water. So 3 or 4 people in a hot tub is the equivalent of 200 people in a swimming pool. So what ends up happening with a salt tub is you have to adjust the production amount of salt from your screen, and it's hard to keep up with. If you use the tub a lot, you're going to have to turn it up a lot. And many times what you'll find out, if you would like to use your tub 4, 5, 6 times, 7 times a week, a salt system has trouble keeping up, and they'll ask you to add chlorine manually to actually keep up with the demand. Sometimes you don't use your tub for a week or 2, and if you don't, you need to make sure you go back out and turn it down. Otherwise, you're going to get a very high chlorine reading because it's producing a lot based on your previous usage amount. So what you end up getting is a roller coaster effect of chlorine in your salt system, as opposed to what we do. We've got an easy top-loaded system of cartridges. This cartridge contains Smart Chlor, which is chlorine. So as the tub is filtering and running, it's pulling through this cartridge and pulling it into the tub consistently. So no matter how much you use it or how little you use it, it's going to keep the right amount of chlorine in your tub at all times. So all you've got to do is replace that cartridge every 3 to 4 weeks, and that does all the work for you. There's no salt to have to add, to have to measure, salt cells that you've got to replace every 3 to 4 months. Typically those burn out every 2 to 3 months. And then salt systems also are very sensitive to calcium. You can't have high calcium levels, so you've got to get that fixed before you put it in. You can't have phosphates in your water. You've got to remove that before you get it in. So there's a lot of things that people aren't aware of, and in a hot tub, a salt system can be actually more difficult and more time-consuming to use. And if you don't believe me, look at the owner's manuals of these systems. Usually they're 10 pages thick on how to control and use your salt system. This system that we're using at Marquis, it's 1 page. It's easy, it's inexpensive, and there's nothing to ever have to replace except that cartridge. There's no systems, internal systems to have to replace.